G'day scrappers. Well, here I am again, and just doing a bit of processing, and yeah, just a bit of a, I guess, a bit of a scrap marathon, just to pass the time and catch up, all that. Yeah, so as usual, I'm still busy. Processing as much as I can, and yeah, just going through the motions. As you know, e-waste recycling, it's a never-ending process, and yeah, just got to keep going at it. I'm still doing pickups, still processing, still here, still going. You know, it's actually been funny lately because I've kind of been mentioning, you know, retiring and stuff like that, you know, from the game. You know, some people have been panicking, and look at the size of this. Yeah, they've been, you know, kind of freaking out, and they're going, you know, like, oh, you know, if you're retiring, I better bring my boards in. I better bring all my gold recovery stuff, you know, and get rid of it, and kind of stop for myself. And I'm like, yeah, well, you know, I'm talking about retiring, but it's not exactly going to happen any moment. You know, there's still time, guys. You know, relax. Don't panic and bring me all your stuff if you're still accumulating things. You know, it's okay. I'm still here. I'm still going. And yeah, so yeah, it's been a bit funny in the last few weeks, how many people have kind of responded to my comments, and and kind of rushed to bring me stuff. You know, there's no rush. I'm still here this year, and I'll probably be still buying boards and stuff like that into next year. There'll be plenty of time, and even having said that, I'm working out. I'm going to be, well, when I take my next batch of boards to my buyer, I'm going to see if they're willing to actually start dealing with the public and buying people's boards. It's probably a little bit complicated for them because you know, they're a very large e-waste recycler. They're dealing with very large contracts, and some of those contracts, you know, can be quite sensitive because they deal with government contracts, military contracts. They may not necessarily want to deal with public. You know, one of the problems is the small volumes. You know, I get a lot of buyers coming here and bringing me $50, $80 worth of boards. It's really not that much, and for them to, you know, deal with small amounts like that barely pays for the time that they're paying workers. For me, it's a little bit different because I don't value my hourly rate like businesses do, because they've got to, you know, actually pay for it. So there we go, just a regular motherboard. At least we've got 4 RAM sticks, so that's a nice bonus for me. I wish every PC had 4 RAM sticks, don't we all? That would be really nice. CPU, and obviously just got to get rid of the battery. Number one priority. You know, the buyer doesn't care. The buyer would prefer you to leave the CPU and the RAM in, obviously. As long as you take out the battery, you're all good. So there you go. And I just did this PC because I need some empty cavities to just put some, you know, scrap metal and stuff in there and go on. But all right, yeah, we'll keep talking about board buying on the next thing. Okay, I just got a power supply here, uninterrupted power supply, or a UPS. As per usual, there's a couple of racks of batteries, and then a large low-grade board, power board. And yeah. And we just sort of get through this. If I take the front off, we should be able to... gosh, it's very heavy because of the batteries. So just want to get rid of the batteries first, kind of disconnect them, and so we don't get any zaps. Okay, well, we'll work our way through it. Might have to do it from the back, I'm not really sure. They do vary. Disconnect most of the power, and that should restrict the zaps. Yeah, so while I'm going through this, I'll continue on with the board buying aspect of what I was talking about. Yeah, so with my board buyer, they're a very large recycler. So whether they're going to buy boards off the public is yeah, I'm not 100% sure whether they'll do that. I'm just going to have to ask them, because it's all about, for them, it's well, they're a large business. They have very large contracts, very specialized contracts. They deal with government organizations, they deal with the military, and so therefore a lot of their stuff is sensitive. Like when you go to that factory, it's not an open factory where anyone can just drive in. It's locked up, you know, and yeah, you've got to book to get there, and when they see you at the gate, you know, you press the ringer, and away you go. But yeah, so it's just going to be a little bit hard to, you know, hopefully they say, oh yeah, we'll deal with the public, which they've never really, oh, they kind of have done, but not in a big way. So so that's where I would like to pass on all the scrappers and smaller e-waste recyclers that you know, sell boards to me. I'd like to pass them on to them, and they'll probably even get a bit better price than I can even pay, simply because they've just got a better system. And yeah, so I'm really hoping to do that. If that doesn't work out, well, what do we do? You know, what do scrappers do? Like some scrappers that have come to me regularly for years. You know, there was one just the other day that's brought in all his stuff and said, you know, okay, well, if you're getting out of it, I'll I'll probably get out of scrapping too, you know, and you know, I don't really want to see that. I want them to continue if they're making a little bit extra cash and having a bit of fun, you know, but it's going to be hard if my buyer doesn't buy from the public. It's going to be hard to find someone that's going to deal in small quantities, you know. I deal with my buyer because I bring in tons at a time, and you know, at least a few tons every time I go there. So you know, it's more of a, you know, industrial levels of e-waste. So yeah, just not sure. And I guess one option for someone that's processing quite a bit of e-waste is to become a buyer yourself. Do what I do. Maybe I can give you some hints and tips, and maybe come over to you and just explain on, you know, when someone's bringing you boards, I can go over the process with you and say, well, you know, and show you what to look for, and you know, because the last thing you want to do is start buying boards and then you're not really good at grading things, and then you're getting lowballed. You know, you're paying too much for boards that shouldn't be that price. You know, it took me a few years to work it all out, and yeah, and just understanding what you can buy and what is a little bit, you know, like things like gold recovery items. I was buying a lot of that because I was looking at doing gold recovery myself, but you know, you've really got to work out the prices with your actual, you know, the main buyer, because you could lose a lot of money if you're paying top dollar for CPUs and things like that. RAM, not a problem. You shouldn't lose at a RAM, but there are some things that, yeah, especially CPUs, you can lose unless you really understand what you're buying and what and the buyer will pay for them. Yeah, it can get quite complicated, and you know, you might have to, you know, probably well, you can buy CPUs. These days most people don't get ceramic CPUs anyway. You know, your Pentium Pros and your 386, 486s, they don't get them. You know, you might get one or two in the pile. No big deal. But and for the basic CPUs that are the common ones these days, the pinless, well, they're easy. You get a price off the buyer, and then you'll know what to pay for them. So they're simple. RAM is simple, but things like IC chips, BGAs, even gold fingers, I wouldn't recommend buying if someone wanted to start buying e-waste. But yeah, if you're going to buy e-waste, you know, there are, you know, a lot of buyers will bring you like $80, $100 worth of things. It's only very small, and if you've got to hang around, wait for them to come to weigh that up and deal with that, yeah, you know, it all adds up. But there are times when you're going to need quite a lot of money behind you to be able to pay for stuff, and then wait until you actually send it all off and get paid yourself. And that could be, you could be waiting 2 weeks before you actually get paid. So so you can have quite a few $1,000s tied up in the game, but for me, I found it was worth it because I was looking at gold recovery stuff. I wasn't just looking at buying boards and selling the boards. I was looking at buying boards that I could, some of the boards I can actually pick a few things off, like gold band crystal oscillators, the odd chip here and there. So it was beneficial for me to build my stockpile of gold recovery. But yeah, so I'm not sure if anyone here in like Melbourne would be willing to buy boards, say next year onwards. But if it's something that you're already into, if you're actually collecting e-waste, then it just adds to your stuff. So it makes you become a bigger seller and more attractive to a bigger buyer, you know. So there we go. We've got a mid-grade board here, cool, and a low-grade power board here, nice, chunky. Another power board. So yeah, I'll work that out with the next batch of circuit boards that I bring in, which is probably going to be in another week or two. And that's a real chunky power board. Could also, you know, just take off this large extruded aluminium heatsink before we throw it off into power boards. Also got copper coils. We could take off some of them. They'd still be power boards if you took, you know, a bit of that off. All right, just want to, okay, so we can't get the batteries from the back, so they've got to come from here. I didn't see the screw. That should do it. Okay, there are our battery packs. That's what we want. Oh, nice heavy cavity. We can get rid of this. Yeah, so yeah, maybe in a couple of videos in, yeah, I'll have more information for anyone that's interested in buying circuit boards in Melbourne. Any other state in Australia, well, that's a different ball game. You've got to find the big buyer, and you know, places like in America, you've got quite a few different circuit board buyers, gold recovery buyers. They buy CPUs, they buy pretty much everything. It's a lot easier. But even some states in the US, there is still opportunities for people to buy boards. Yeah, depending on the state and depending where you are from the larger companies like BoardSort and there's a couple others. If you're into e-waste and you're processing e-waste yourself, then, you know, maybe consider buying you know, circuit boards and gold recovery stuff yourself to add to your pile if you're close by some of those bigger joints, or even if you're quite far, but you can deal with your local people. And then I wouldn't recommend shipping if you can do your own delivery. If you've got a little truck, good sized truck where you can send off, deliver yourself, be much better than shipping it. Well, you wouldn't want a little truck, you want a pretty darn big truck, and you also want pretty darn big storage and a way to move it, like you know, in America they call them gaylords, getting gaylords, filling them up, or you often see those the white what are they called, there are 3 letters to it, where the white liquid containers, they got like a cage around them, and they're a white plastic inside, and you just cut out the top, and they're actually really good with either a forklift or a pallet jack. But obviously if you're loading them onto a truck, you want to have a forklift to load them. I'm lucky that my buyer comes and picks up my e-waste in the tubs that they provide me. So they have a lifter on the back of their truck, so it's nice and easy. I don't need a forklift. So we've got 6 batteries and more scrap steel. So 6 lead acid batteries. Sometimes I can do so many pickups of UPSs. I can have hundreds of these little buggers. They're a bit of a pain, but that's that. Nice and easy. 6 batteries. Add to the pile. See if it's easy enough to get the heat sink, because the heat sink's worth a lot more than the, obviously, than the, yeah. So the only problem here is there are MOSFETs, so it kind of balances out in a way, because you're removing all the screw weight off the board, but still, because it's a chunky heatsink, it's still worth taking off. So as you can see, the base really nice, chunky. There's decent weight there, and that's extruded aluminium, the best value aluminium you can get, or if you like, aluminum. Depends what side of the world you live in. And same with these copper coils. They're really easy copper coils, no big stress. But you know, if you want to add value, it's only a low grade board, so you know, you can take these copper coils off, wind it off, and you've got some steel and a bit of copper. Copper's really good price. It's probably the highest it's ever been since I've been in this business, 10-11 years. It's yeah, it's as high as it's gone. So there you go. And this still goes as a low grade board, and you can keep picking off the copper coils. You know, it depends how far you want to go. I don't try and go too far these days, but you know, like I've always said, it all depends on the volumes of scrap and e-waste that you're getting. The more you get, the less you want to break things down, because you just don't have time. But you know, if you're only getting a few good items a week or whatever, you want to pick it out for as much as you can get. You know, why throw it out for low value when you can, you know, I mean, even this board here without the MOSFETs, right? Like, you can break this part of the board off because it's got some IC chips, and you would get away with this being a mid-grade board, and the rest a low grade or a power board. But still, you know, yeah, UPSs aren't bad. You get 6 batteries. You know, some you'll get 12, some you'll get 20. So, but they're really heavy to deal with. But you know, sometimes I picked this up recently from a hospital, but sometimes that hospital can give me 20. And what I did notice at the hospital was they had a whole stack of brand new UPSs plus boxes of brand new batteries. So it looks like they're going to be replacing a lot of their UPSs, and so I dare say in a month or so, I'm probably going to pick up stacks of these. So I won't get rid of my batteries until, you know, till the end of the year, and to make sure I get rid of as many as I can in one batch. But yeah, all right, well, that's that. Let's do something else. Maybe I've got an old school PC I wanted to do. I've got a couple of them actually that they're kind of oddball and not part of the stuff that I've been selling. So yeah, they might be good to get rid of. And yeah, I'll just clean up here and do something else. Okay, well, we've got a little PC here. It's a HP eVectra, a Pentium 3, real old school, a real unusual PC here. But it just didn't fit into anything that I was selling at the time. So yeah, it kind of is what it is. But so rather than trying to, you know, singularize it and trying to sell it, it's not going to be worth dealing with anyone for one PC. It's yeah, Pentium 3, so it'd be interesting to see kind of what's in it. Who knows? I'll just get the CPU and the motherboard out, and I'll be pretty happy with that. Yeah, you just got to do stuff like this. There you go. Really oddball and weird, but yeah, we'll get rid of it and have a little look. It's all part of it. You can't be too sentimental with stuff like this. You've just got to just get on with it. And especially, you know, if you're like me and you're picking up a lot of stuff, you can't, you know, kind of like, oh, is this sellable? Is that sellable? I mean, there are some things you just got to move on with and not really worry about it, because before you know it, you're going to get a whole lot more stuff. And yeah, as you've seen with me, I've just had you know, just too much stuff, and it kind of gets in your way, and it slows you down if you're not just getting on with things. And yeah, just don't get sentimental, guys. I've sold a lot of stuff in the last few months, couple months. Oh, amazing. And have made, you know, really good money. So no complaints. And yeah, so no doubt someone's going to say, oh that I've been looking for one of them for years. I've heard all that. And yeah, when it comes to the crunch, people don't generally come to the party. So yeah, no dramas here. Just trying to work out how to actually get into it, just to get the motherboard out. It kind of looks, maybe it'll just slide out once I undo the screws. Here we go. We're kind of there. It's a real weird setup. And there we have it. Our motherboard. It's a really bizarre motherboard actually. How's this for a RAM? It's actually sticking out of the motherboard. We'll take it. And there we have it. Battery gone. All that's left is just the CPU, and it's a, you know, well, it's still a good one. It's a green fiber CPU with pins, right? Nice value. They're as light as anything, so you know, per pound or per kilo, you know, you need quite a few of them, but you know, it's all about, in this case, it's all about the gold fingers. It's not about that silicon chip. There's no gold there. It's all about just those gold fingers. And yeah, just a nice old school motherboard, just a little one. It's a, what is that, a socket PGA 370. It's, you know, it's still a good value motherboard for gold recovery. It's got 2 gold corner proper BGAs with the plastic tops. That's where the gold is. Yeah, good. Well, not a great deal out of it. A motherboard, a hard drive, 1 CPU, and at least we've got a green fiber CPU and a RAM. I called it a CPU. It's not a CPU. All right, yeah, not a great deal of value there. You need quite a few hundred of these to pay your bills. So I've got a switch here, a Sophos. It is what it is. A little power supply there. Power board. Oh, it's got a hard drive. See what it's got under there. Don't know if it's a CPU, but either way, it's got to come. Yep, CPU. So basically, we just got a PC motherboard here. Just like a PC. Fine. A lot of times with these switches, you just don't know what you're going to get, and so sometimes they can just be a peripheral board, mid-grade peripheral. Sometimes they can be high-grade boards, and in this case, you know, this can go as a PC motherboard. So that's when I say that, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean what you're taking the board out from. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's the grade that we grade it. So if you pick out a board from a server, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a server board. It could be just a peripheral board, or sometimes it could be a very high grade telecom board. You just, you know, so it's not what it comes out of, it's more what it is at the time. This is a oh, it's only a, yeah, just a hard drive, nothing spectacular. We've got a couple of RAMs, so that's always a bonus, especially in switches. Get a couple of RAM, why not? Nice. What do we got here? They are DDR4, but they don't look that great. But RAM is RAM. CPU, just a scrap pinless CPU. That's what we get these days. Yeah. Got a little low grade board here. Might as well just cut the wire out while we're here. And yeah, so yeah, but yeah, on the old subject of me retiring, it's just going to be a low grade board. Yeah. You know, well, that's just how it goes. You know, I'd like to just continue on with eWaste, but I'm kind of, it's starting to get a little bit boring, you know, to be honest. In some ways it's still exciting. Like, I'm excited by doing pickups, and that's a nothing board. So we don't have any chips, we don't have anything. It's just kind of like a riser expansion board, but there's nothing on it for gold recovery. So maybe you can get away with it being in a low grade, but it really, it's not. But yeah, you know, in the probably 10-11 years that I've been processing eWaste, you know, I've had so much fun. It's been great, you know, and it's you know, like when I first started eWaste, I was actually unemployed, looking for a way to get off unemployment, because I just wanted to be employed, and I'm not really one of those guys that can sit there and work for someone 8 hours a day. I used to be, but yeah, it's just not my thing. It wasn't my thing for quite a long time. You know, I was just, you know, couldn't be bothered. But I wanted to earn an income because I didn't want to be unemployed. I didn't want to be living off the government, you know. I hated that. And so when I decided to get into eWaste, I wanted something that I could make an income from. I didn't want to, you know, it wasn't about trying to be a millionaire. Like, I know some eWaste recyclers, they were so hell-bent on making a lot of money. They you know, they went really hard, but I wasn't into trying to be a millionaire. So there's a nice motherboard, actually. Nothing for me. Little gold fingers there, but I'll just leave them, and that's just a motherboard. But yeah, I just wanted a job that I could do, and everyone would just leave me alone. Something I could do from home, and yeah, eWaste become the thing. And because back then I was very interested in precious metals and even copper and all kinds of metals. And yeah, I just wanted to do something on my own, and it turned out really good. Although the first few years was really hard work because of the old CRT TVs and monitors. And so I started advertising residential, and I was picking up all eWaste, and that could have been fridges and freezers and the old school TVs, and I was charging $10. And I never, you know, I was charging $10 for like 6 years. It almost became not worth doing it, but I was just doing it until I got enough clients for like schools, businesses, hospitals, all that kind of thing. I ended up with about 42 different hospitals, 42 different schools, and that was huge. And but you know, if I had my time again, I would do it differently. I would focus much more on reselling, but I would need a factory, and I never wanted that. I never wanted a factory and then hiring staff. I just wanted to do it on my own from home. And but you know, I can't complain, because 10, 11 years I've earned a living. I've you know, stayed away from government you know, welfare payments and all that, and I've gotten to the point where I'm, you know, kind of going to retire, and I don't really need to do anything much aside from going to travel. So I'm still not going to go on any welfare payments or anything like that. I'm just going to, you know, I've done okay, I have to say. And even YouTube has helped a real lot. There were some years YouTube was being great, amazing, like incredible. But the whole idea of me doing YouTube was never to create a channel or to even, you know, to even make $1 out of it. It was about trying to show people what I was doing, because I wasn't greedy. And it turns out over the last 10 years, you know, a lot of people in my state have taken on through, you know, starting off watching people like me on YouTube, because when I started, there was nothing on YouTube. I was screaming for information about e-waste and how to process e-waste and the precious metals and all that, and there was just nothing. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll keep scrapping, but what I'm trying to kind of say is that I'm really glad some people took it on, and now YouTube, e-waste, you know, it's huge. Even on Facebook, there's so many people into gold recovery, e-waste, and doing their business and picking up e-waste from schools and businesses and factories and whatever. It's growing, and so I'm just pretty proud that I had a little bit to do with that, and worldwide, not just here in Melbourne, Australia, or Australia-wide, but actually worldwide. It's been pretty amazing. So, okay, so the battery went flat, and probably a good thing. I was starting to ramble, and AI technology shows that the battery knows when I'm waffling on too much. So I've just got an old Acer here. Don't get many old school, you know, PCs that often anymore. Obviously, schools, businesses, everyone's, you know, done with all this sort of stuff. So it's kind of nice to, you know, still pick up the odd one that is, you know, in a office storage room that no one actually got to. So but yeah, it's actually very clean for its age, I can tell you that. We'll get it out. Nice power supply. I'll open up and get the low-grade board out of, cut all the wire, get the most value out of it as we can. Don't know, this hard drive is kind of jammed in there, but we'll get it. See what kind of CPU is in this, and just an aluminium heatsink. CPU is just a Pentium 4 with pins, I think. So just the ones with pins. Still better value than the pinless newer version. So yeah, I was waffling on, but geez, I'm certainly getting a lot of people coming to sell me boards at the moment, and yeah, everyone's sort of like, it might just be the timing of everything and of, you know, how they go about things. So yeah, a lot of boards to deal with, and I can't book my buyer to come and pick up right now because yeah, I can't load up my van with hard drives and laptops because I've got, you know, a few pickups booked out. So I need my van, and because I've only got one van now, so, you know, when I had two vans, I could, yeah, nice and easily load up one van and use the other. But now, because I've only got one van, I can't do that. So, and I've got to make sure that I've got a pickup, but it's not that big. It's nothing special anyway. So unfortunately, you know, I'm tempted to cancel the pickup or delay it for a week, but knowing my luck, before I know it, I'll get a few more pickups and got to keep going. So at least we've got a couple of round stick, only one sides, but it is what it is. Get the battery out, and there we go, a purple motherboard. Only a small one, but yeah. Don't know what's happening with this hard drive. Sort of jammed in there. It's not screwed in. Looks like I might have to dismantle the whole thing here. Yeah, yep. Had a screw hidden underneath that wasn't going anywhere, but an old school 80 gig hard drive. Yeah. And yeah, we'll clean that out. Bit more wire. Nice and quick. All right, well, we'll get rid of this, the Acer Power, just an Acer old school Pentium 4, so just a old school Pentium 4, probably one of the early ones, since I've got the CD-ROM out, CD drive out. A lot of times I just leave them in, but since it's here, might as well get the board. And there we go, mid-grade board, or a proofal board in the States, and now that becomes scrap steel. Well, that's done. I'll clean up, see what else I got, continue this little scrap marathon. Okay, so I've got a Cisco server, and these kind of rack-mounted servers in Cisco aren't very as common as you think. You know, we mostly get Cisco switches or really big chunky servers. So here they're not as common. Well, for me anyway. You know, for other recyclers they probably pick up hundreds of them, but yeah, I get HPs and you know, all the brands, but yeah, normally 99% of the Cisco stuff are switches, or routers. So, all right. Well, we got 3 hard drives out of it. A couple of power supplies. Don't have pins. I can open them up and just get the power board out. That's just a blank. So just 1 power supply. But yeah, nice. I didn't even notice this was actually a Cisco brand until I just picked it up. Let's see if it's going to let us get in. Ah, there we go. Okay, pretty nice. Bit of plastic, but we've got 6 RAM sticks at least. I don't think they're much. Yeah, they're only 4 gig RAM sticks, so you know, scrap RAM in a server. 4 gig is really old school now, believe it or not. And all right, so got our riser stuff. Got a card here and a little tiny couple of risers. Card's good, couple gold bands. I've got to work out what to do with all my gold band crystal oscillators and the gold recovery stuff. I don't know if anyone here in Melbourne is interested in keyboard mylars and crystal oscillators, just the regular ones with silver. That might be the first thing I'll see if I can get rid of. Pass it on to someone that wants to do silver recovery. Obviously, you know, I've been accumulating, and some of it I've spent money on, I bought, but mostly my own accumulation, like the keyboard mylars. I stopped collecting keyboard mylars 3-4 years ago, and most of the mylars that I got were from real old school keyboards, so the real good silver, not the cheapy stuff that you get these days. So yeah, I might have to do a little video and see if anyone's interested in it, because silver at the moment, I mean, gold and silver and even platinum have gone crazy. Like here in Australia, gold is like $6,200, and silver last night hit over $80 an ounce. I mean, my God. That is incredible. So good on everyone for those people that stacked silver back in the days, you know. I mean, it's in the last 12 months, gold, silver and platinum, you know, they talk about hedging against inflation, but gold, silver and platinum have just certainly done a lot more than inflation. And you know, probably one of the best investments you could have actually done, unless you know, you were lucky in some kind of stock market, or what else, the cryptocurrency kind of thing. You know, I don't trust cryptocurrency. I don't know anything about it. You know, although I did once buy Dogecoin. I'm a bit of an Elon Musk fan, so I bought Dogecoin because he was kind of into it, and I did all right, actually. I sold it, I think, 4 months later, and I made like 80%, and I just got out and said, no, this isn't for me. But I am a yeah, like I said, I'm into I like Elon Musk. I think he's just, I don't know, someone really different. He might even be an alien, who knows. But you know, And even though I started selling, you know, the generic gold and silver that I accumulated, I started to have too much, and it was just not something that I wanted to keep at home anymore. And it was, yeah, so I thought I'd start selling it, and then I started putting that gold and silver money into Tesla shares, and I started reading up a lot about Tesla, watching videos. It was just full on. And you know, Tesla was, you know, at that time it was about $140 US a share. And so I started selling gold that, you know, not collectible coins or anything that meant anything. Look at these nice copper alley heat sinks, beautiful. And yeah, started selling gold and putting it into Tesla shares at 140, 150, 160 a share. Well, it seems Tesla is very volatile. Keeps, yeah, anything can make it drop or make it rise, it seems. But, you know, in a year or so, 18 months, it's like $450 a share now. So, you know, I've kind of tripled my gold value. So, I mean, gold hasn't tripled in 18 months. So, and I feel a lot more comfortable because I don't have to hide my Tesla shares. You know, it's in an account. I use eToro. It's an online thing. I recommend them. They're really cool, really good place to invest, because like 10 years ago there was nowhere that you could really invest in international shares. Just invest in the Australian share market here in Australia. There might have been certain ways where, you know, people with a lot of money could have done, but for the general public it was almost impossible. So there's our server board, dual socket. So yeah, it's a server board. It's nothing spectacular for me. I won't touch anything here. Straight. Oh, one gold band crystal, I might as well get it. Still building up a little bit of gold band crystals because I don't think I'm going to recover the gold from the gold band crystals, you know, but hopefully someone will, and yeah, and do well out of. Won't worry about this stuff. Taking the hard drives, got the power supplies, got the motherboard. Yeah, just got to clean up the card and a couple of risers here. Nice. Yeah, we're done there. So yeah, hopefully, you know, a lot of you guys, you know, back in the day used to talk about stacking gold and stacking silver mostly because silver was cheap. You know, like it used to be like $14, even $10 US an ounce, and you know, or yeah, about $14, $15 an ounce in Australia, and now it's $80 an ounce. I mean, geez, you know, I wish I held on to a lot of it because it would have been fun, but I've still got, you know, my collectible gold coins. I've still got quite a bit of silver that, you know, I just enjoy too much to want to sell at this stage, and even platinum. But yeah, just nothing like I used to have because, geez. But Tesla's done it for me. As far as, you know, it keeps me entertained. Oh, there's another hard drive. Hey, 4 hard drives. Keeps me entertained watching the stock market go, and yeah, I think I'll do okay. You know, I think Tesla's going to do really okay in the near future. 3-4 years time, I think going to be surprised. But I don't give financial advice, investment advice, so don't listen to me. Do your own research. All right, well, that's a Cisco server. It's been a long time. The board wasn't fantastic, but it's a server board, and we just move on. All right. I'm not sure. Do I do another one? It's a beautiful day, so you know I don't want to really stop scrapping today. So yeah, but I might do one more on camera. Okay, I've got a switch. It's a HP Pro Curve. Kind of looks okay. A lot of blank space. It's yeah, it's got a board, but probably not a great deal to ride home with, but it's still a board. A board is a board. Okay. Looks like a power board under here. Okay, well, one screw came, but the other three didn't. This one's gonna do the job. There we go, good old Torx screws, hey? What will we do without them? Just don't know. Okay, all right. Bit of cable. A lot of little screws here. Just a daughter card. It's actually quite a good card. Double-sided, it's got 2 gold band crystals. Add to our final collection. Yeah, I just have no idea what I'm going to do with my gold recovery stuff, and if I decide to sell most of it, I have no idea how to sell it, what to ask. I might have to spend 6 months just doing research again. Because I've forgotten, you know, what I used to know. Like, you know, I've got an idea of rough gold recovery rates, but you know, it varies so much from refiner to refiner, and you know, don't want to try sell something saying, oh, you're going to get X amount, and then because they're not a very good refiner, they're going to get a lot less. Not that that's my fault. I mean, they should be more qualified, or do more research, or have a better gold recovery setup. Some people are just don't have the best gold recovery setup, and these days with gold being so valuable, you can lose a lot. I mean, you know, if you got over, you know, like US $5,000 an ounce, just about, you know, we're even talking grams starting to become a lot of money to lose, you know. This board, got one riser. I don't think that was it. Sometimes you just got to be a bit rough, but There we go. Okay, on the other side, it does have MLCCs, but I don't really take off MLCCs anymore. So I might even put my MLCCs with the silver recovery stuff, and good luck to someone that's going to get the palladium out of them as well as silver. But a few gold bands, good. And because it's got a lot of dead weight here, if I take off these heat sinks, it'll make it look a little bit better. I might be able to get away with it as a high grade, but I'm not particularly fussed. Okay. That might be it. Okay. What have we got? Maybe at the back. No. There you go. All right, nice, heavy, chunky power supply board that we can take the wire off and yeah, put into low grade boards, and that's pretty much nothing. And that's it. Wow. Just one more piece out the way, and yeah, just keep going. Just got to catch up, keep processing before more pickups come through, and I'm just overloaded. So it kind of just makes it feel like, yeah, I've got space and I'm getting on top of things, you know. But I've got a bit to clean up here now. Yeah, so all I'm going to do here is just clean up a little bit of stuff before I go on to anything else. Might pull out a few things, gaming consoles, see if I can try sell the gaming consoles. But yeah, this is all I'm doing for now. I don't know. I don't know how long this video's gone for. Maybe not for very long. Doesn't matter. It was meant to be a scrap marathon, but by the time I edit the video and realize, oh gosh, it's gone for an hour. Yeah, but oh well. 4 more hard drives. They'll be going out in a week or so, 2 weeks. So I'll probably do a video on all the boards and stuff. See what I can get kind of payout. It might be my second last payout or my third last. I'm not sure. We'll just see how things go. But I got a board buyer or seller coming in tomorrow, and sometimes they can be average, and sometimes it can be a huge amount where yeah, I'm going to be overloaded and got to get rid of my boards before I can move on. But yeah, hopefully we get a couple of good pickups, and yeah, and just keep going. You still got where are we here? Still got PCs here, PCs there. They've been hanging around for ages because I never get onto them. PCs there. Yeah, as I'm doing pickups, they just I never get to do the old ones. Hard drives. Gosh, I've got 4, 8, 12, 16, 18 crates, which is normally quite a bit more, or at least 2 or 3 crates more than normal. So I don't know what I'm going to be getting tomorrow, but it looks like I could have about 20 milk crates of hard drives, and this is like about 33 kilos per milk crate, so about 75 pounds per milk crate. So you know, once you've got 18 milk crates, it adds up. You know, we're getting close to a ton. In the garage is always looking good. I've still got a lot of PCs to deal with in the garage, and laptops that are too good. They're for sale. There's about 50 laptops there that need to be sold, and yeah, just still got PCs I've got to sort out between ones that I can possibly sell and ones that need to be scrapped. But yeah, a lot of my like the Apple stuff, the Commodore Amiga stuff, the Amstrad stuff, all I've got left is batches of gaming consoles really to sell, and projectors and stuff like that, which I doubt will ever sell anyway. But yeah, I'm still going strong, guys. Sorry if it's a bit wobbly. I haven't put it on anti-wobble settings, so but yeah, as you can see, motherboards, PC motherboards, I've already got 2 full tubs, and that's going to fill up a 3rd one when they bring me more tubs. So there'll be, yeah, quite a lot. And yeah, so yeah, I'm still going strong, guys, so don't panic. Don't all rush at once to bring me boards. I'm still doing this year and through next year, at least till April or so, and then we'll just work out where we're at. But yeah, so don't panic. I'm still buying boards and doing all that. So keep scrapping, have fun, and I'll talk to you soon again.